You watching the nucleus. The soldiers in, I crush any man like a soda can. The black Eminem in my hand, a can Henneken, damn it's him. They can't make moves like a mannequin. And it's you and your man again. So period, I'm flowing all year like a feminine. I go by the name the Supreme Emperor of Jags Nation. The Royal Highness in his flyness. Garba Galea Abaga. One, you watching the nucleus. Explaining the different facets of Jags. I mean, people say I'm multi, but I think every human being is. I'll say I'm a very, what's the word? My philosophy in life drives everything that I do. My production, my music, my art, my writing, my books, my everything that I do is the personality of who I am that drives everything. I think everything else comes from that. I'm not schizophrenic, so I don't have I wouldn't have like multiple personalities or all, but I think the basic underlying thing that defines all the different things I do, production, music, whatever it is, you know what I mean, is it comes from my philosophy and what I believe and who I am as a person outside of the music. Any man who works hard, you know what I mean, and in fact anything in life that can produce or duplicate another effect or reaction is successful, you know what I mean. A disease can be successful. You know what I mean. So success is something that is on its own, you know what I mean. I don't necessarily like to tie it to human beings, you know what I mean, because everybody thinks they're successful in their own right, you know what I mean. And so to me, success is still a personal thing. Only you can know when you're successful. Other people can't tell you. Music is a gift. It's like asking Usain Bolt how he knows how to run, or asking Jordan. Sorry, I'm using those people too. Yeah, I mean, or Jordan how he knows how to play ball. I mean, it's inborn. You know what I mean? People are born with different gifts. For some people, it's the gift of speech. For some people, it's the gift of understanding. For some people, it's the gift of knowing how to cook. You know what I mean? And that's what I believe. I believe everything in your life will guide you down that path if you're really gifted and you pay attention to what's going on. First experience in the studio, I was in SS3. This will be 2017 years ago. I was in SS3, so we had every end of year, the outgoing set does an album. So that was my first experience. E. Kelly, the producer, was the one who produced the album. He was my senior in school then. So it was horrible. To put it nicely, it was a horrible a horrible 2 weeks of trying to record with other people. We didn't have any experience about what the studio was, and it was still fun, you know what I mean, being around, but the experience of recording itself was actually horrible. Thank God there are no known copies of that album today. People always want to look at me as just a rapper. No. I started out as a drummer, then I was a dancer, then I was a singer. I started rapping in 2006, 2007. That's when I actually started rapping seriously. I've never been a rapper. So I would say I knew a long time I was going to end up in music. I've always had the gift to be able to play drums or be able to dance, or always been in the entertainment circle. So I knew, but this Jesse Jags exactly is a product of a lot of other Jesse Jags. So I've always been in music, but if you're trying to stream me down to rap, you know what I mean, and that's a different area of my life that I developed. But even though I was always doing music, singing, you know what I mean, dancing and all that. I'm currently learning saxophone. I play drums, I play bass. You can't work on your legs and work on your upper body at the same time. So it's dedication and time. You have to give yourself time. If you're having a project, I first probably have a 2-month stage where I have to write. That's all I do. I can't produce at the same time. I have to keep writing. Stop producing, because everything happens. The inspirations for them are a bit different sometimes. They're different moods, different. So I actually give myself times, like going to the gym is okay. For the next 2 weeks, I'm just going to work on my arms, exactly. Then I'm going to work on my tummy. Then I'm going to work on my legs and so forth. So it's like being in school, really, having a schedule and sticking to it. You know what I mean? And I'm following the routine. Yeah. Biggest strength lies here. This is my most powerful weapon. I'm too intelligent to be played with musically. It's just too, it can't happen, you know what I mean? So they dread me. They know what I'm talking about. So I would say it's because it's nothing. I guess in production, I'm as dangerous if I catch you on your off day when I'm rapping. If I catch you when we're just trying to play instruments, you know what I mean? Inspiration can only come to you. Motivation is something you have to do for yourself. Yeah, nobody inspires themselves. Inspiration comes from the air and the ether. Motivation is something from inside. Real and true pure motivation can only come from the origin of the person himself. If true motivation cannot have external influence, true motivation can only come when you're down and you're exact. That's when motivation matters. If there's something motivating you and it's taken away, then what happens? Then you lose all the motivation. So motivation cannot be based on an external force. It's not motivation, it's lies. You're jobbing yourself at that point or something. That's what I think. True motivation, something can inspire you, but to be motivated is a thing of self. You have to wake up every day in the morning and motivate yourself, even when your legs are paining you, and your voice is paining you. If you really want to get better as a musician, you have to be disciplined. You have to wake up at certain times to do your voice training. That motivation nobody can do for you. You have to learn it. How I motivate myself. I wasn't born knowing how to ride a bicycle. I learned it. Anything can be learned if you dedicate yourself to time. Anything on earth can be learned if you give yourself time and you spend hours on it. And that's how I motivate myself. I know that, I might not have the gift to be a good saxophonist, but if I spend 5,000 hours playing the sax, anywhere in the world I'm going to be a professional. You don't have to be gifted to do that. That's where motivation comes from knowing the way the world works. Yeah, if you dedicate your time to anything, you become an expert in it. Musically, everybody I look up to is dead. Everybody says Fela, but I really look up to Fela. A lot of artists say Fela. They have never listened to his music. They don't know anything about him, you know what I mean? But I look up to Fela. Not look up to him, I admire what he achieved in his life and what he was able to do with his music. But to say look up to, that's what I'm saying. I place no man above me. The people I probably look up to have nothing to do with music. Those that are alive. My dad, my brother. These are the living people that I look up to. I don't believe there's anybody alive that can be better than me. That's how hard I want to work. So when I first started, my struggles were probably money related. Most artists will tell you they're money related, which is probably small money to try and get your CDs round, radio stations, you know what I mean? And I'll say back then, the people used to, and a majority of people in the media used to play music for the love of it. The challenge now is that people cannot play music without money. Piracy is the only problem. Our music is still not protected. So we really do not earn from the physical copy. All the hard work of the album is sold. In Nigeria, an album is sold less than an empty CD. Yeah, an empty Sony CD is like 400 naira or 250. By the time I've recorded my music and it's been printed on the streets, it goes for like 150. Thank you. So our music is still not protected or copyrighted, and that's just the only problem. So we have to do 1,000 other things to, you know what I mean, to make money and try and cover up, because where the chunk of the money comes from is missing. I'm fucked up now. You have to keep going, man. You know what I mean? Like, the only advice I'll give is listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. The only person you should listen to at the end of the day is only you that knows why you came. After all my advice, only the artist coming knows why he came and knows how inspired and how motivated he is. Yeah, listen to yourself, get to know yourself. So I'm going to give two types of advice today. To the artist who wants to make it, who just wants to make it, please make sure you have a lot of money. I'm not joking about it. People are going to be laughing at home. Don't come to Lagos without a place to stay, or without money, or without the Lagos of then is not the Lagos of now. So have a place to stay, have a plan. Have some money, especially if you just want to blow. This is very direct advice I'm giving them. Try and have some money, because you need to push your music now. You need to promote it. You need to make sure it's being played on TV. You need to the musician and the more artistic artist outside there, get better at what you do. You don't even need to come to Lagos. If we fix the other 35 states, then Lagos will be a lot more decongested. Yeah, there's internet now in the world. Don't be afraid. Step out and do what you need to do wherever you are too. So those are the two different advices I would give. You're watching The Nucleus.